अस्सलाम वालेकुम। माय नेम इज़ सकलैन मलिक। आज जो मेरा टॉपिक है वो है समरी ऑफ द शॉर्ट स्टोरी द डेड। द डेड is a short story about three musician ladies about their gathering in parties who were representative of Irish hospitality. The second part of story is about the memory of dead man. Three ladies and Julia and Kate and their niece Mary Jane arrange a musical party at their residence in Ireland. Their musical masters. There are many pupils of Mary Jane who come to her to learn music. The three ladies wait for guests. Upstairs, they have to receive ladies while their servant Lily has to receive maid guest. The three ladies are restless about the arrival of Gabriel Conroy, sons of their late sisters, and Freddie Malins because they are late. That's why they become the cause of anxiety for their hostess. Suddenly, the door opens and Lily welcomes Mr. Gabriel and his wife Greta. The wife goes upstairs to see his aunt's theft. Other guests also arrive, including Mr. Brownie, Mrs. Morgan, Miss Daly, Miss Power, etc. In fact, Gabriel is learned fellow. He arranges a speech which he has to deliver at party, but he is fearful that anyone may disagree with him. The aunt prepares supper table and they make couple for Walter inside the hall. Unfortunately, Gabriel's couple is made with Miss Evers, who is a very superb lady. She has also been a school fellow and college colleague of Gabriel. She asked Gabriel about Chissy in the following words: "Oh, innocent of me, I have found out that you write for the Daily Express. No, are not you ashamed of yourself?" And the reply of Gabriel was, "Why should I be ashamed of myself?" Then she calls him a West Breton. Gabriel is bewildered at her questions about Daily Express, for which he writes articles only at Wednesday. Then he is annoyed at being called by her a West Briton. She writes him for an excursion to the Arn Ashley. He refuses. He refuses the offer and says that he does not tour his own country. Rather, he goes for a tour to Germany, France, and Belgium for the change of air and language. The lady inquires scornfully whether he doesn't like his language and replies that Irish is not his own language. The other guests also listen to his conversation and he feels irritated for that. He feels that Miss Evers has insulted him openly, calling him a West Briton. Then the mother of Freddie Malin takes him with her and tells him about their residence, her married daughter and son-in-law. She's a short, stout woman like her son. Then his wife approaches him and says in his ear that Aunt Kate wants him to carve the gauze as usually. After waltz, the arrangements for supper are complete. No, Gabriel, like other hostess, has to play his part of coming goes and achieving speech at the end of Super. At that mummies, Miss Evers gets ready to leave. Gabriel's wife and Mary Jane request her earnestly to story for a while and have a meal, but she doesn't lighten, listen. But she doesn't listen to them and says that she should leave. Gabriel deliver a speech. His intrinsically directed to Miss Evans. He says that it has qualities of hospitality which the new generation lack seriously, but the lady is involved by the speech and leaves. But the lady is unmoved by the speech and leaves. The supper is started and a lot more dishes have been arranged by Miss Mokens for their guests. After having finished the meals, Gabriel starts discussion which is titled as Opera Company. All of them talk. Jacqueline sings a melody names arranged for bridal for that she wins the prize of almost all the guests. The Gabriel gives a new turn to his conversation and says that very things that strikes him in Ireland in the hospitality of his people. This tradition transferred from their elders and they have to preserve it for their coming generations. He says that they should not forget their past and people of the past who accomplished great deeds for them. At this point, Mr. Brownie disagrees with him and says that they cannot live in the past because they have present any future before them, but both of them agree at the point of Mrs. Moke's hospitality and give them the title of Three Graces. All the guests join them and they sing a song for paying a tribute to Three Graces. Then Freddie, Malin's mother, talked about his son's visit to Mount Mallory, where the monks are very hospitable. They sleep in their coffins and negate luxurious life in order to pay penance for sins of people. Mr. Brownie likes the idea of these monks very much. The party proceeds to its final turn. It is almost darkness. Almost all the guests have felt except a few. Gabriel suddenly watched a girl standing at stairs soberly, listening to a teen. He wants to know about her. His aunts revealed to him that she is Greta, his wife. He is astonished by seeing him standing in that pose and hastening to a strange music. He thinks that if he had been a pointer, he would have painted that girl listening to music and given the name of distant music to that portrait. His aunts are also fascinated by the tune that they become silent in order to listen to the tune attentively, but to their surprise, the music stands and Mr. stops and Mr. Brownie, the archy with Miss R. Callaghan turned down. It was he who was singing a song which was named The Lass of Agrim. He tells them that he cannot sing further because he cannot bear the cold and the sight of snow. However, Aunt Julian liked the snow at Christmas event. Then all the couples depart riding a cart. The cart driver says them Happy New Year, Gabriel and his wife go to a hotel home, remembering the beautiful and charming sight of his wife burns with pain, but before he could go near her, he sees her lying in bed with a trail of tears and her eyes, and inquiring about the situation. He says that she remembers the song The Loss of Akrim, a song which has reminded her a person who used to sing that song. On further inquiry, she tells Gabriel that it was her lover, a boy of 17 years old, whose name was Michael Fure. They were in love and they used to talk together when they lived in Galway. Greta lived in there with her grandmother and she had to leave that place to move to Dublin. Hearing all this, Gabriel himself, a worthless fellow who is the husband of a girl who once was the mistress of another boy, she further tells him that on hearing the news of their departure, Mr. Fure, Michael Fure, got ill. He once visited her home to say to her that he could live without her and he should not depart. But she consoled him by saying that she would come back in summer season. But as soon as he departed from that place, Michael could not bear her departure and died.